just happened. A surprise trade for the Buffalo Bills has just been confirmed, and no one was expecting it. The name involved in this negotiation is much bigger than you might think. I got behind-the-scenes access and will now reveal the reasons for this controversial decision. But first, if you love the Buffalo Bills and want to know everything before everyone else, like and subscribe to the channel, because what I'm about to share will surprise you. Buffalo Bills fans, the first big headline of the week isn't just about a signing, it's about a fighter, a hard-working player, a player whose journey to the NFL has been anything but easy. The Bills have officially added defensive end Nelson Ceaser to their roster, and if you don't know his name yet, you might want to start paying attention. Ceaser isn't a first-round draft pick with a clear shot at making it to the big leagues. At 6 feet 2 inches and 245 pounds, this powerful edge rusher has traveled a scenic route, a long, grueling, and challenging path to get here. His NFL story began in 2024 when he signed as an undrafted free agent with the Seattle Seahawks. But, like many undrafted rookies, the NFL gave him nothing. His time in Seattle was short-lived, and for many players, it might have been the end of the line. Not for Ceaser. Earlier this year, he joined the UFL, playing for the DC Defenders, and later the San Antonio Brahmas. It's not a vacation league, it's a constant struggle, a place where players fight for every game just to keep their football dreams alive. And in that kind of environment, Ceaser honed his skills, both figuratively and literally. He learned to fight through adversity, stay hungry, and make an impact even when the odds are stacked against him. But long before the NFL and UFL, Ceaser was already making waves in college football. At the University of Houston, he built a 5-year career that culminated in a monstrous senior season in 2023. He completely terrorized the experimental lines, racking up 9.5 sacks and 13.5 tackles for loss, earning him first-team All-Big 12 honors. Scouts noted his relentless strength, explosiveness off the line, and knack for being in the right place at the right time. That's exactly what the Bills hope to see from him now. Buffalo's defense already boasts veterans and rising stars, but in the NFL, you can never have too many pass rushers. In crucial moments, especially late in the game, when the starters need a breather, an unbalanced player with fresh legs like Ceaser can be the difference between a victory and a devastating defeat. Of course, every addition to the roster comes at a price. To make room for Ceaser, the Bills made the difficult decision to injure wide receiver Jalen Virgil and defensive end Justin Hollins. Both players had battled to earn a spot in Buffalo's plans, but injuries forced the team to make a change. It's the harsh reality of the league. An opportunity for one player often means the end for another. Still, this change speaks volumes about the Bills' approach this season. General manager Brandon Beane and head coach Sean McDermott aren't standing still. Even in the middle of training camp, they're eager to adjust, strengthen, and take risks on players who could become hidden gems. And here's the thing. Ceaser's addition is just one piece of this week's puzzle. Because while the Bills are adding depth to the defensive line, they're also dealing with a lingering issue at one of the most important positions on the roster. A cornerstone of Buffalo's offense was knocked out in practice, and it left fans holding their breath. While Buffalo bolsters its defense with new blood, an unexpected problem has emerged on the other side of the ball, and it involves one of the pillars of Josh Allen's protection. If there's one player on the Bills' offense you can almost always count on, it's Dion Dawkins. The 4-time Pro Bowl left tackle has been a rock since being drafted in 2017, starting 122 regular season games and protecting Josh Allen's blindside with consistency and grit. So it was alarming to see him leave Tuesday's practice early, leaving with the coaches and never returning. Fans received a small hint of good news when ESPN's Elena Getzenberg reported that Dawkins was all smiles, even dancing, after practice. But that optimism dimmed a bit when Dawkins was absent from the next practice. It was then that head coach Sean McDermott confirmed what everyone feared. Dawkins is dealing with an aggravated back injury. It got worse yesterday, McDermott told WGR 550's Shop and the Bulldog. The Bills are taking no chances, keeping Dawkins out until the discomfort subsides, ideally within a day or two. The hope is that he can still travel to Chicago for joint practices with the Bears and participate, but the team will monitor him closely. Buffalo has already dealt with a similar issue this summer. Right tackle Spencer Brown began training camp on the physically disabled list due to a back issue, but has since returned. The team knows that pressuring Dawkins too early would be risky, especially with the regular season opener against Baltimore just weeks away. In Dawkins' absence, Ryan Van DeMark has stepped in at left tackle during practice. Van DeMark made his NFL debut last season, filling in for the quarterback in the Week 18 win over Miami, and now finds himself guarding Josh Allen during crucial preseason reps. It's a great opportunity for him to prove he can be trusted if called upon again. But while McDermott's focus is on keeping his players healthy, General Manager Brandon Beane's offseason mindset shows he's always looking for the next big move. And in our final story, Beane revealed he had his eye on one of the NFL's most feared defenders, a player who could have completely changed Buffalo's Super Bowl prospects. And if the absence of a Pro Bowler already changes Chicago's plans, wait until you hear about the multi-million-dollar move Brandon Beane nearly pulled off this offseason. Myles Garrett, one of the most feared pass rushers in NFL history. The ball was thrown, and the quarterback had no chance. That dream almost came true. In a jaw-dropping moment that rocked Bills Nation, Buffalo General Manager Brandon Beane appeared on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast and casually dropped a bombshell. Earlier this offseason, he had his eye on a star who could have reshaped the NFL landscape. The tags were almost too obvious. Pass rusher, 3 hours away, $40 million. This was there was no doubt he was talking about Myles Garrett, the Cleveland Browns' $160 million wrecking ball. It wasn't a random thought. At one point early in the offseason, Garrett had a real shot at a Super Bowl. Beane, a man known for keeping his foot on the gas when it comes to roster building, clearly saw an opportunity. He didn't say how far the negotiations went, but the fact that he even considered the idea is enough to stir hearts in Buffalo. Unfortunately, as is often the case in the NFL, timing and money dictate everything. Before the Bills could even consider making a serious move, Cleveland signed Garrett to a massive extension worth $40 million per season, ending any chance of him donning red, white, and blue this year. But oh, what could have been. Imagine lining up a defensive line with Garrett backed by the relentless Greg Rousseau and the explosive Ed Oliver in the middle. That's not just good passing pressure. It's a breathtaking, game-breaking, title-winning offense against every quarterback in the league. That could have made Buffalo the favorite for the Lombardi Trophy, surpassing even the Kansas City Chiefs, while the Bills' 5 playoff run in 4 of the last few years ended up reaching the Bills' dreams. And here's what makes it all the more intriguing. Beane isn't just using this story to provoke fans or rub salt in the wound. No, it's a glimpse into the way he thinks, the way he operates. He doesn't settle for good enough. He's willing to make big plays, to exploit potential, to put the Bills in a position to achieve greatness. Garrett may not be in Buffalo right now, but Beane's willingness to pursue him speaks volumes about the mindset of the times, because that's what it means to be all in. Whether it's signing a star young pass rusher like Nelson Ceaser, carefully managing injuries to key veterans like Dion Dawkins, or keeping the door open for blockbuster trades that could shift the balance of power in the NFL, the Bills aren't playing it safe. They're aiming high, knowing full well that the windows to win in this league don't stay open forever. Now, the focus returns to Chicago. The Bills are preparing for joint practices with the Bears ahead of their preseason matchup on August 17th. A perfect opportunity to see this squad's chemistry, resilience, and firepower on full display. New faces will be tested, reserves will battle for starting spots, and fans will get the next taste of what could be a season to remember. With the arrival of Nelson Ceaser to bolster the defense, concerns about Dion Dawkins' role, and the revelation that Brandon Beane brought Myles Garrett to Buffalo, are the Bills truly ready to face 2024 as a make-or-break year? Leave your opinion here, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Buffalo Bills news.